In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a fully adjustable webbing shoulder strap with leather accents. I haven't seen this done anywhere else, so I wanted to break it down step by step so you guys can do exactly the same for your projects at home. Getting your shoulder strap right is key to your bag's ability to be perfect for yourself or your client, and making it adjustable solves all of those problems. They get their strap or you get your strap and they can adjust it to exactly the length that they want. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because clicking that little button costs you nothing but means so much to me, and it allows me to build this channel bigger and wider for you guys. I will show you a clean, professional way to finish your straps, to not just make them look phenomenal but also last a lifetime. This is the exact method I use for the bags that I make, and I wanted to share it with you guys today. I'm going to show you the exact lengths for each element of the shoulder strap. I'm going to show you exactly how to cut a really complicated end. It looks simple in the end, I know, but it is quite complicated to do. This strap has the perfect proportions for basically any bag that you will make. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is cut two shapes out. One's a square, one's a rectangle. Now these do depend entirely on what fabric you're using for this. I'm using a 4cm wide webbing strap. So it's a cotton strap and it's 4cm wide. So we're going to want one square, so mine's 4x4, and we're going to want one rectangle, which is, for mine it's 4x6. Now the reason we want that is because we're using two types of hardware. We're using a rectangle ring, or D-ring basically, but it's the shape of a rectangle. And we're going to also use a sort of double D-ring. It's two rectangles joined together essentially. On top of that, we're going to want two shapes. Now these are entirely dependent on your design preference. Mine are these sort of rectangles with a point on the end, but yours can be whatever shape you want. And they're what we're going to attach to the clip to the actual strap, because we're going to have two clips, and we're going to have the strap, we're going to have the D-ring, and we're going to have the double D-ring. So I hope that's all clear. So these do entirely depend on how you want to design it. So we're going to have two straps. For the adjustability, we have two straps. We have a 20cm strap and we have a 125cm strap. And this is that complicated end I was talking about. So depending on how high up you want that point to start, I start mine at 3 centimeters. You want the tip to be, you want to cut a what's called a dart out the end. Now, because you want it to be really nice at the end where it joins together, you half the width of the shape that you're attaching to it. So mine's 2 centimeters wide, so I cut the dart from 1 centimeter on each side up 3 centimeters. So you have that triangle cut out. What am I doing with the glue? So we're going to be gluing the dart together. But the glue on the end, now this is a water-based adhesive, EcoSar 16PIU. The glue does two things. One, it glues the dart together, and then the glue on the end stops it from fraying. Because this is a natural webbing, this is a cotton webbing, it's not polyester, I can't melt the end. So I have to seal it with glue. So that's what I'm doing there. You won't see that at the end. I'm then going to use this non-stretch tape, the black tape, which I get from Leatherbox. I think I have a link in my description for this. And that does two things. One, it helps stick that together, and two, it helps these particular staples. Now, don't do what I just did. I stapled my finger, which really hurt. But we're using those staples to hold that together. The whole point of all of that is to hold it together whilst we stitch it. You want to be really careful here, because if you get the point of this, the end of this, not centered, the whole thing looks really bizarre. So you want to get the end really nice and centered so that it sits cleanly at the end. So this is skipping around a little bit, so I'm sorry about that. But basically, we're going to wrap that square, so this is the 4x4 square, around the tip, around the blunt end of the short strap. So this is the 20cm strap. Sorry I didn't get any footage of cutting this particular part, but this is the 20cm strap. I also don't have a choice what leather I'm using, but I'm using a 1.2mm crocodile and a 0.8mm goat, because you will see the inside of this rectangle, so I wanted to align it really nicely. If you're doing something that you're not going to see the inside of, then you don't need to line this, but most of the time you'll see it, so you will want to line this or use veg tan or something. But basically we're stitching that first bit on, because this is what goes on one side of the bag and then the other side is the adjustment strap, so this kind of anchors it, if you like. Now I'm doing 2 rows of stitches, so these are 3mm stitches. I'm doing 2 rows on top of each other, because what you will find is that over time, if you do one, it can get a bit loose. So I wanted this to last forever, so I'm doing 2 rows of stitches, one on top of the other. Take your time, because you want the stitches to lie next to each other and not cross over, so do take your time. And then don't forget to hammer it down, but we're going to seal it at the end. You stick around to the end to see me sealing it, because I'm not doing that until right at the end. But this is how we stitch on the shape that holds the clip. So it's just a standard saddle stitch. I've pricked both sides, so you don't need to cast. If you want to know all about casting, I have a video on saddle stitching on my channel, but you don't need to cast because this is pricked on both sides, so you're just stitching through it. And as you can see, the stitches pull that webbing in really nicely, so it's got a beautiful shape at the end. And don't forget to tap down your stitches. It drives me mad when people don't tap them down. It does lots of things, namely it closes the holes, so it gives it a much cleaner aesthetic. So this is the long part. I'm actually using some masking tape so I get a really clean cut, and then we're going to use the same glue to seal the end. Again, you won't see this because of how the strap is designed, and this is the 125cm length. I don't know what that is in inches. I'm sorry, I live in England, I don't know inches. Next is basically the same thing as a watch keeper. So we're going to measure around the strap so that it fits perfectly. We're going to use some masking tape. Be careful with this, because if you're using a tape with a leather with a different finish, you can take the finish off with masking tape. So do be careful. You might need to use an awl just to mark it, but I could use tape. And we're going to skive that down to 0 from 15mm. You can use a different skiving length, that's absolutely fine. This just gave me 5 prick marks because my pricking iron was 5 teeth, so I wanted it to line up nicely. And then we're going to measure the bottom side of this. So we've just skived off the top, and now we're going to measure the bottom. And we're going to do exactly the same thing with the masking tape. We're going to mark exactly where the base comes to, so that we have a nice line to skive to, because the worst thing you can do at this point is take too much off the back and then you'll see raw leather underneath, which we don't want to do. And then we're going to skive that again down to 0. Basically, if you don't get these down to 0, you'll have a lumpy transition. Really important to have a really sharp knife for this. This is a Junlin leather skiving knife. I've never sharpened it ever. I strop it after every single time, and it is still razor sharp. It's witchcraft. I don't know how it works, but we're going to take that down to 0 from the masking tape line. Take your time, because you don't want to take too much off and have to shorten it, and you also want to have a really clean edge. You don't want to have a feathery edge at the end, because if you have fuzzy bits on the end, it won't look clean, because you will see the end of this part. So do take your time and be careful. And then we're going to use the same water-based adhesive that we used to seal the end. Make sure that it's fully dry, and then give it a good squeeze to make sure it's set. This is not 3mm from the edge, obviously. This strip is 10mm wide. This is a centimeter wide strip. And obviously we want the prick marks to be straight down the middle, so we've just set the wing divider straight down the middle. And I'm doing the same thing with the double stitch on both ends, because I want this strap might see a lot of use. And now it's time to put it all together. This is the part that you've been waiting for. So we're gonna unroll everything. We're gonna put it through the double D-ring and then back through the double D-ring. But first you want to put that rectangle on there first, because that's keeping that double D-ring in place, and it also connects the end. Then you want to put the keeper in through the single D-ring and then back up through the keeper, which we're then going to stitch this end to that tab that's on the double D-ring. I hope that all makes sense. That keeper's holding it together at the adjustment point on the short end. That's the point of that keeper. And then we want to do exactly the same thing for the other tab that we did for this. This is really challenging. I've used some masking tape just to keep all of the strapping out of the way, because you can damage your strap if you poke it through too far without keeping your strap out of the way. You can damage the strap, which you'll see and you'll never repair. So take your time on this. It's not easy. That's why I'm showing you how to do it. I use the 2 needles at both sides because we don't glue this tab to the strap. It's only held there by stitches, because any glue underneath there you'll see. So the needle is there purely to hold it for the first row, and then we go all the way back up again. And then it's time to seal them all shut. So I'm using white glue, or PVA if you're in England, and we're going to poke that in, and then after you've poked that in, we wipe off the excess, snip the ends of those off, and then give it a tap down. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and hit the little bell notification so you're notified every single time I upload, so you don't miss a single video. Let me know in the comment section, what do you want me to make? What do you want me to teach you? How do you want this channel to grow? I will see you next time. Have a phenomenal week or weekend, depending on when you're watching this. Take care.